Dumb decisions doom the Bengals. Mike Petraglia inside Acrisure Stadium. Here on Saturday, 2 days before Christmas, the Steelers played Grinch for the Bengals, hammering Cincinnati 34-11, a game the Bengals never were in. They had their chances early on, but in the words of Jake Browning, he made some dumb decisions with the ball in his hand, and the Steelers kicked our ass. Jake Browning did not mince words after the game, clearly disappointed and frustrated after the Bengals see their three-game winning streak come to an end. The Steelers snapped their three-game losing streak, and the Bengals and Steelers are now 8-7 on the season. The Bengals fall to 0-5 in the AFC North. Consider this: no team in conference play since the current division format was instituted in 2002 has ever lost 5 division games and made the conference playoffs. Bengals are trying to change that, but they're going to need a lot of help in the last 2 games. Of course, they play Kansas City on New Year's Eve, and then they finish up with the Cleveland Browns at home at Paycor Stadium. But here on Saturday, the Bengals allowed the Steelers to get out to a hot start. Mason Rudolph throwing an 86-yard touchdown on an in-slant, a simple in-slant to George Pickens, but Dax Hill overplayed the ball. DJ Turner got behind in pursuit, and it was off to the races. No one touched George Pickens, who had been in turmoil coming into this game. A lot of people had been criticizing him inside and outside of Acrisure Stadium, and here on Saturday it was George Pickens' time to shine. 195 yards on 6 catches on the day. He also had a 66-yard touchdown pass in which he beat Chido Awuzie. That pass was a killer because the Bengals had just cut it to 24-8 on a 80-yard touchdown pass from Jake Browning coming out of halftime to T. Higgins. Bengals thought they had some momentum, but they certainly couldn't hold on to it. Bengals, again, really never in this game. Jake Browning with 3 interceptions. He threw one in the second quarter to Eric Rowe. That led directly to 7 points for the Steelers. In all, 3 interceptions, leading to 17 points on the afternoon for the Pittsburgh Steelers. After the game, the mood was pretty dim in the Bengal locker room, as you would expect. Ted Karras saying, "We didn't come anywhere close to playing our best game." Sam Hubbard said, "It's going to be a tough day of looking at the film, but we're going to do that because we still have something to play for." T. Higgins said, "I thought my pass might change some momentum in the contest. It did not, and they did not play Bengal football," in the words of T. Higgins, and that was a big reason they lost. Another focal point of this game came right before halftime. Bengals, trailing 21-0, had just driven down the field inside the 10-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they had 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and then on 4th and 1 after a Bengal timeout. Jake Browning throws a fade, and he doesn't get it to T. Higgins at the back pylon. He was rushed and hit on the play. That's why he didn't get the ball to him. So that play went awry, and the Bengals turned it over on downs. That was really a momentum killer. The Steelers took the ensuing possession right before halftime, marched down the field, got a field goal, made it 24-0. The Bengals again did score coming out of halftime, but that momentum did not last very long, as the Bengals really were blown out in this game from start to finish. Overall, a very, very disappointing performance, considering the Bengals were manhandled on both sides of the ball in the trenches. Orlando Brown did not have a great day at left tackle. The Bengals were run upon again. They could never get their own running game going. It was really a mess from start to finish for the Bengals, again, who fall to 8-7 on the season. Steelers at 8-7. Now the Bengals are going to need a lot of help. Again, the Bengals are 0-5 in the AFC North. No team has ever made the AFC playoffs after losing 5 games in their division since the format began way back in 2002. Bengals need to make history if they're going to get into the playoffs this season. Have you covered on X? Be sure to follow me there at Trags, Trags. Complete locker room reaction inside a somber Bengals locker room here on Saturday. Check out my YouTube page, youtube.com/@JungleRoarPod. And, of course, follow me online, clnscincy.com. Final again, it was the Steelers 34 and the Bengals 11. inside Acrisure Stadium. Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.